Hello there, Ddraig back again, and this time we're going to go over the campaign and what you expect from the new improvements from SFO with the Beastmen. I'm just going to split it all up into different sections, so we're going to have an overview, of a building, part of the building trees, we're going to have part of the tech tree and the new Beastial mechanics. And with all that being said, I'll put in comments in the description below and in the highlighted comment, so you can just skip to the section you want to review. And let's get started. So as a bit starting point, let's go over the Beastman campaign in SFO. So what I'm going to do is quickly look over the main screen, and then I'm going to go into more detail into each particular section, like buildings, the tech tree, and the new mechanics. So first of all, let's take a look at the main screen and go from there, just so we know we're all on the same page. So quite a bit has changed with SFO and Venris and his team. Obviously put a lot of work into this one. First of all is the cash. So that's favour for the Beastmen. That hasn't changed, but as before, you pretty much always are running at a deficit. It's rare to get a profitable Beastman campaign. The only way to get profitable is to keep attacking, keep raiding, keep progressing forward, keep being on the front foot. So that's my top tip. Trying to do it sneakily, you can do it, because I'll show you my own campaign at the end of this, which I'm currently working through, and you can see I'm actually making a profit at the moment, which is not the best way to do this campaign, but anyway. Moving on, so the next obvious thing is tribal call. Now as you can see that breakdown, it's got tribal gold gained settlements to plus 12. That is all based on your two warbands here. So each one of these provides 6 tribal call. Hence why it's got 12. And you reduce it, and because as you can see there's -5, that's for units. So the bigger units cost a particular use of your tribal call. So in this case, the Beastman Giant, as you can see, he's pretty beefy, and he takes 3, and the Hound Specimens take 2, so there's your 5. But Gauls and all the cheaper units don't take anything. You can recruit them as much as you like. Now in my sort of campaign I've been playing, I haven't had a problem recruiting units with this mechanic. So don't worry, it's not very restrictive by any means. Every time you expand your in the building tree, expand that up to the next level, the next tier, you get an extra bit of tribal call for that army, and that slowly builds. And there is also another building in that tree which can also increase it even more, but we'll go into more detail in a bit. So next is Dark Devotion. Now this you just get pretty much doing everything in the game. I even get it a bit from hidden settlements, events, characters, hordes. Your heroes can create it, your Lords can create it. You get it for winning battles. You obviously get it for raiding, and this is all used for it's a newer type of economy for the Beastmen, and that will be and that's for this bit for the Beastial Sacrifice. And again, I'll show you that in a bit, because that's quite in depth, as well as the tech tree, also quite in depth. So I just wanted to get a nice overview first. So if we go into over here now, so you got the growth as a normal and population surplus. Now when you're in before in vanilla, that can sometimes stifle your growth, but I've got it up, so it really is not a problem at all. The cash is actually the main problem, because you spend so much improving your buildings. Then you got to improve your units, and you got to keep raiding. You got to keep sneaking around in cases. If you're in a particular hot area, like say the Bretonian lands or the Greenskin lands, where we are now, are quite far apart. So there's not much, army traffic to say the least. So you can actually get around quite easily. But there's more tight, like the Empire. There's a lot of various factions all close together, so it's a bit more difficult. And also, while we're here, we got the new stances. So these have changed slightly to what you're used to. So you got stance, that's the same, exactly the same chance of ambushing a unit, pretty much. Then you got stance ruination. Now this is completely new. As you might have seen, you can't have fast travel in this army, and you can read it from there. I'll leave it on the screen now I'm talking. So that's basically a bit of a boost for a Beastman army when sieging any settlement. Put that on instead, and then as you go forward, then attack that particular settlement. And you can also change, if you've got two armies next to each other, like these two, then you can change them both to that stance and you get those bonuses. And missile resistance is vital, and a bit more melee attack. It doesn't seem much, but over the entire army, it's quite a big increase, that. Next, you got your beast paths. Pretty much similar, but with Venris and his team have tweaked it a bit more to get a bit more negative. As you can see, if you move, it's completely... If I move this turn, I cannot use it. Then you got gathering the herds. So that's just it. Getting unit experience. Plus 100, upkeep minus 10% for units. And just to reiterate, you're not going to be hidden when you do these things. You're always going to be on the map. The only way you can be hidden is when you're in hidden encampment, hence the name. And as you can see, that drops upkeep for a bit. But you always have Beastial Rage. Beastial Rage is something you have to be on top of, really. Because it's a bit annoying, because if you get down to there, as before, your velocity changes, you cowed, and you start to take damage. So you have to quell that, and then go on again. It's a bit annoying, but it's part of being a beastman. So, as I said before, always be on the attack. And then, so there's hitting the encampment, and then the last, of course, is raiding. And raiding is one of the things you're going to do a lot of. It creates Beastial Rage, it creates money, and the better the price, the more money you're going to make, and you can make quite a lot of money. You can buff it to get 1,000 per raid. So it's really very effective way of keeping your army going, especially in the plus. And of course, remember that 25% adopt, something I have fallen foul to a number of times in the Beastman. I just got a bit too far, and I can't go into hidden encampment, and then I'm suddenly get very popular or something. So that is that. So there you go. That's a brief overview of the main campaign and what you can see from on the main screen. So let's delve deep and go into each particular section. Now, as you can see, this tech tree is completely different than the original in vanilla, and again, tons of work have gone to this. So it completely covers 3 screens pretty much of information. So on the far right hand side, we've got all the unit abilities, and I'll come back to that in a second. But we'll go from left to right. So we've got various things. We've got horde, basically all these are horde based abilities. Ambush chance, excuse me, horde recruitment and income. And growth plus 100 there. And as before, every time you do it, we research for drops. Then you got temperament. So this is all about your heroes and heroes. So I'll just quickly hover all these as I go through. So you got a nice bit of hero capacity. Remember in SFO, if you've never played SFO, there's recruitment restrictions on various things, like gore balls and things like that. So you can only use a certain amount of units, and that goes double for some units as well, like giants and things like that. So that's that tree. Now Beastly Stupor. So that's your recruitment ranks and some damaging for your various armies. This is of course across all your armies. And you've got diplomatic relations, and then you got more armor, more speed, and dark presence. Speed is vital for the beastmen, and they are quite quick. If you've seen my unit overview of the new units, I mentioned it quite a bit. And you got fresh blood grounds, so mostly about casual replacement and attrition. Some little bonuses here and there, and obviously I use you to be very good against a particular faction. And that's all of them. So down the middle tree, so this way you spend much of your favour with the gods. So you got End the Hives. Now, as you can see, this is one of the ways you can get tribal call. Now, if on my main screen, on the first part of this video, where I went on the overview, I went about tribal call, and this is one of the other ways you can get it. So you can get it off your armies, which is your main way of getting it, or you can add a bit more there via these. And as you can see, I'm just hovering over them all, so have a quick look, get an idea. So each stage you add an extra +2 tribal call. It's not the best way to get tribal, but it is quite nice, and you get some nice bonuses as well. And this is the other way to counteract the research rate for the beastmen. so that you can actually get boosts back to it, because all this costs research and a lot of these cost research. So as I keep going through, you can see a bit of a theme to each one. That's all about, I think that's all about reading, isn't it? Yeah, that's all about reading. And that's all about post-battle utes. This one is all about ambushing. And this is all about upkeep. Slash bonuses. 5,000. Quite expensive, but there's a lot of ways to spend your favour in SFO. And finally we go on the units. So here you can just, these are all just, you can recruit a better recruitment rank for these various units. And then whatever you choose here, the opposite. So you can only choose one of these. So so these are always exactly the same, so I don't need to cover all of these, but these have basically a cheaper upkeep and some have various abilities instead. So you can really tailor, if you particularly like running, say, Minotaurs, you can put Seeing Red down or Favour of the Gods. So do you want to be more defensive? Don't really know why you want to be defensive in Beastman Army, but you have that option. Or Seeing Red, with both for attack, and so forth. So you got various options to really tailor your playthrough of each Lord you play with, or each particular. If you like Beastman quite a lot, you play through numerous playthroughs. You can tailor each one to a different type of play, just to change the game a bit for yourself. A really nice touch and a really in-depth skill tree, tech tree. Apologies. So with that being said, that is the end of my overview of a tech tree. So here we are on a completely new mechanic, Beastial Sacrifices. So this is quite in depth, but I won't go over every single bit of this because most of it is quite self-explanatory. But as you can see, there's loads of options to choose from, and we'll just go for this one first. Usually, the more powerful ones are right at the bottom, and obviously the most expensive. And you can sort of hover over these for more information. Like that, so there's a banner, so that's obviously really powerful. But how do you get these things? So obviously you need the Favour, for starts off. Then you need your Dark Devotion. Now, as mentioned before, you get this by raising, you get this by just general abilities with your heroes. Various different ways. And this gets quite high quite easily. I didn't have much problem with Dark Devotion. And then I've bought a few things in here just to start things off. So this is one of the cheaper ones you can use. So basically all you get is various buffs to the Lord's army. These are all can be assigned to any foil you want, any hero or Lord you want. I believe most of these are Lord ones, if memory serves. Then we've got Hearthstones. So this is a brief duration ones. Again, more expensive, but these are all permanent. You can apply these to any Lord you want, but the Hearthstones are just, I think they're all these are all just, so there's only 4. And these can be awoken at any time, as long as you've got meet the minimum. And each one has various things. I'll just hover over these, just to give you an idea of what we do. There you go. So all those, exactly the same principle. Got of the Favour, got of the various thing, and then you just awake it, and then you got that for 10 turns. The Clover ones enables recruitment of various units. Now I'm not sure which order I'm going to be doing this, but this when you recruit units, there is one particular building where you unlock these particular units, and without this done, you won't actually be able to recruit them. So it's something to bear in mind. And right at the bottom is the legendary units, the mutated warhound even, and our dragon ogre. So you get those buildings quite early, but you can't actually get the unit until you've actually awoken this ability. And then we got bonds. Again, quite a lot of this, but this only takes Dark Devotion, but quite a bit of it. And these are quite powerful. As you can see, you get really big bonuses of Tribal Call. So that helps with your abilities for your tech tree, which I've already gone through. And there's your various options there. There's nothing to hover over yet, so that's just, you have a quick look through them. And then, by no means least, Ascensions. And as before, you can it tells you what things you can actually get at the moment. So I can unleash 4 of these ascensions at the moment. So again, these are turn specific. So you got various options down here. All these are just to make your playthrough more unique and more interesting. We've got some more. These are magical abilities. So these are magical unit abilities. So these can be equipped to your heroes or lords. And as you can see, some of these are really good. And more available to you as long as you've got the minimum requirements. So that is a rather neat little Beastial Sacrifice mechanic. So now onto the building tree. So I'm on to Malgor's building tree here, and they're all exactly the same. They all work identical, no matter which Lord you choose, or just a standard Beastman Lord, etc., or even a Doom Bull. So you got all your basic recruitment down here, and just to point out again that the unit capacity is what certain units you can only do so many of each one, as per a as it causes the entire faction. So if you have one of these in every faction, in every herd or every camp, you will get, so you get +4 for this one, you get +4 for the other one, etc, etc. So all these are just your standard recruitment, and there's your mutated warhound. So remember on the tech tree that you have to have that particular skill tree unlocked, particularly sacrifice, done before you can actually recruit them. And there's all the Centaurs. Again, there's upkeep reductions when you get to the high levels. The Minotaurs. Unit capacity is increasing. Then you got your Brave Shamans. And then of course you got your Cygor at the top here. Your Giant. And here are those the various Gors. Specific Chaos ones. And here, as you can see, +1 Gods, base cap 2 per unit, +1 to Gods Gors. And then you increase that 1 further. And as we just quickly remember again, you've got to unlock these abilities in that ritual, which I've shown you already, in the tech tree, before you can actually use them. Not the tech tree, apologies, the Beastial Sacrifice. So these are a bit more interesting, these buildings. So you've got Metallic Realms. So this is for building. So this, you can either build that one or that one, because these are weapon ones. So all these are just recruitment rank and armor, or a bit more charge. So this is more offensive, that's more defensive. Then we've got Breeding Pens. It's only 1 ruination, so that's that one, I believe, yeah, it's one of those two. So just choose the one which you prefer. I got Horde Growth. Didn't find much of a problem with herd growth on the whole, but that really is a great reduction in upkeep, -20%. So one of them, or we can go down the raiding tree. So this is the other way to boost up your tribal core. As you can see, it can get quite high, so it goes up to 10. And just to reiterate, every time you upgrade this, you get your tribal core goes up by 2. So your base is 6, and then you go right up to 12 if memory serves. Oh no, it actually doubles than that. It's 25 for the maximum. So I didn't have much problem with tribal core, and as you can see, I'll just hover over some of these. Some of these need what a particular. So there's your tribal core there. Most are 1 or 2, until you get to the top ones. They're 3, 2 there for that one. There's 2 for that one as well. There's 3 for that one actually, and then there's a couple for 3 for that. Didn't have much of a problem with him, but it's just an extra mechanic to be aware of. And so I've done that one on the right, yep. And then finally, we've got Sacrificial Grounds with a Wild Dragon Ogre. And that's just campaign movement and horde growth. There's various boosts to that, but it has a special thing. Essential items to -30% cost for Beastial Sacrifices. And as you can see from that tech tree, from that Beastial Sacrifice, that is quite a significant cost reduction. Because 30% is not to sneezed at. So that's probably about 700 or 800 favour. So it really does add up. So that's not a bad thing to go down. So there you go. That's the building tree. So on the second turn, you get this little pop-up, and this is actually going to count across the entire campaign. So I'll just quickly go over what each one does. So Legendary Leaders, one of the strongest survive, and you got hero recruitment +2, passive ability frenzy all characters. And you get constant, so you get that on all characters, very nice. Or you can choose the Coven One's path. So that's speed increase across all armies faction wide, and leadership. But negatively you get melee attack -10 for yours and heroes, and armor. But you get unit experience per turn, and you get really significant bonuses there, but a couple of negatives. You got countless herds, so minus upkeep 10% for all units, very nice. More movement, a bit more bestial rage, and constant Khazrak replenishment rate. But horde growth, horde growth's +4, sorry, and melee defense -10. That's quite a nice one. Also ignore it completely and go own path. So that's companion eyesight +50, vigor loss reduction, dark devotion generated rate +50 per turn for 10 turns. So all these three are permanent. So you choose either one and you can't change it after this. So that's just an added little feature of SFO. So when you do capture a settlement, now in SFO you can actually capture settlements. You've got the usual traditional ones. You've got Raise Defile, so that's horde growth, but it also gives you a bit of bestial rage as well. Or you can get some Dark Devotion, so that's all the currency, which I've been over before. A nice constant replenishment, so that's a massive health increase. Or you can just raise it, get the cash. But also you can Defile it and Occupy. And this gives you a bit of cash, not much, but it does give you a bit. So let's Defile and Occupy this one. So you can Defile and Occupy anything you want. This doesn't give you many options, but it gives you a couple of options. So for details half in here, you start off with just your basic. You got a raiding wharf, so you get a wharf by standard because this happens to be a port. But to get to level 2, it obviously takes a while, and you can increase this through various abilities, and that way you can get a garrison here. So you can use this as a staging point. So if you want to start capturing a province or capturing an area and have just a place where you can go back and heal and things like that, just get that quick bonus. Maybe a nice garrison just to give you a bit extra units just to defend yourself, or you're creating a new army and you just want somewhere to hold them, keep them safe, keep them with the garrison. I think they build up their army and build up the various skills. This is the place to do it. So you can have one of these, you can have as many as you like, and they all add a bit of cash to your various factions. So here we are with Malgor's skill tree. So Venris and the team have done a few changes to each of the Legendary LOrd skill trees, and we'll go over Malgor's in depth because one is the biggest and one is the first one of the list, and then we'll go for the others. So first of all, what's changed? Well, on the whole, most of the campaign ones on the bottom are pretty much the same as normal. As I'm just whiffing over these, I'm just double checking, but yeah, they're all pretty much the same. We have the Code of Violence one ability, which I already talked about in a previous video. And we also have a Pocket Division, which is the upgrade of that. Other than that, it's just the traditional boosting of your various units. So, next one is a bit more unique. So we've got Legendary Beastman, so Beastial Sacrifice, and we've got some diplomatic relations and some bonuses. And we've got Beastman Escort. This is a horde growth. So on the first value, so on the first point, you only get a negative bonus. So for campaign movement in this one, and it's a similar story for all of these. You get a small negative bonus, but if you rank it up one more, that will disappear. So you get horde growth +8. And you got Rampage more horde, so equipment duration, and then you got speed +15, and then finally you got Grey Whelps, so horde blue destruction -10%, just on a particular army. Then he has 3 options, and you can choose only one of these options, and then he opts out the other 2. So you got agility over strength, so that's to plus the Ungors and Centaurs. 4 of Drachold, charge bonus plus 10, and income from post value by plus 50%, which is massive, but income from raiding settlements is a bit, yes, so you have to tell your playthrough, or tell you how Malgo plays. You take that into mind if you take that one. Then you got Surging Warherd, and that's just a drop upkeep. Quite a big reduction in campaign movement, but you can make up that with other abilities. Nice increase in recruitment capacity and a unit capacity plus 1 or units, and that's very handy. Okay, on to this casting tree. So it's always casting. So you got Beastial Surge there, Brace Scream, Devolve, Fritikin, Evasion, and just risen over to the other section. Mantle of Gork, Savage Dominion, Earthing, Magic Wizard, and Arcane Conduit. All the ones you know I'm pretty sure you're aware of. And just a quick reminder, SFO does change these abilities to make them a bit more, well, let's just say devastating. And so I'll just take that into account. So Crown of Horns, Manbane, Rune of the True Beast. So there's just little bonuses for himself. This one's bonus armor and plus strength, but reduces melee. And obviously there's a 25 rank and there's a 12 rank, Wild Winds. So this is some more casting abilities. So you got a Flock of Doom, so that's a spell cooldown. Wild Surge, Pit of Shades, and Dark Shadows, so just a few more abilities to use. And you got Revered Grey Shaman, so nice bonus to diplomatic relations, cooldown on spells, and Winds of Magic Powers of. Very nice. Across the top, we got some of his equipment. You can see the bonuses from them. The icons of Vivification, Southern Wicked, This Way Comes, and Honorary Power, boosting that Winds of Magic Reserve even further. Crowfather, adding even more. Feud by Blood, Bloodlust, Voice of the Dark Gods, Aura, Shadowhide, and then we've got Defied Crows, which I've already showed you in my last video, and Devotion, which just adds Dark Devotion generated per turn. So there you go, that is the in-depth look at Malgo, and we'll move on to the next Lord. So here we have Morgor, and I've already obviously gone over most of the skill tree already, so I can skip the bottom two, as these are pretty much exactly the same as for the Lords. And I do believe this middle one, this one is also exactly the same as well. Yes, it is. So you get your same options there. So remember that's going to be Oct at one point. Then he's got obviously no casting as Morgor. So all of this is all personal attack abilities. Just making him just a bit of a monster really, let's be fair. And then we got something more interesting. So you got Crown of Horns, Manbane, Rune of Beast, so this is all the same, Swigskin and Shadowgrave. Shadowgrave is just decreasing ascension abilities. You got Morgor's Revenge, so that's missile resistance, we're going against Wood Elves, one of his most hated factions. Twisted Creatures, so Speed for Harpies, the Corruptor, Cleansing Flame, and Tainted Forest. So that's basically, all this is basically, if you're going to go against the Wood Elves, this is the one you want. Now across the top, we have this stave, unbroken, so it makes them unbreakable. Bit of missile resistance for chaos spawns, and more damage for chaos spawns, and they do need some help. Even SFO, they're not great, but they're pretty good in SFO to be fair, and this just makes them really, really good. And got Feud by Blood, Bloodlust, as before, Voice of Dark Gods, Shadowhide. You got Tainted Ground, so that's just that's the ability when he dies, he triggers that explosion, knocking everything back. And the last three is Devotion, so that Devotion. So only a couple of changes there to talk about, but just there you go, the little tweaks to this overview. So here we are with my campaign. So this is turn 48, and I thought I'd just show you how my own campaign is going. So this is where I've been testing the game out, just having a bit of a chill out, playing the game at my own pace. And so I chose Khazrak for no reason, as for Queen Khazrak. So here's my armies, which we'll go back to in a minute. So how did I get from down here up here? So early on, I decided to set over here for a bit, and I believe, if if memory serves, Spatonia took this off me. This is where, this is exactly how I did it. So I started here with Khazrak, with 2 armies. So that's my 2 armies I've still got from the beginning. I decided to do this and raise it. I didn't raise it, I occupied that. Then I came down here and I wanted to take this out. This is quite a battle because this is obviously a fully fledged settlement. And around this time, I made friends with Grand Squire, who are pretty much following me around now, taking everything I raise. That's all they're doing. And they're doing very well out of it, to be fair. So they took over here. I just fitted the army here. I thought, oh, to hell with it, I'll just raise it and continue on. They immediately followed me and took it. They haven't helped, by the way. Oh god no, they're Skaven. They don't help. At one point, there's about six armies on this one. It's quite funny. I should have took a screenshot because it's quite amusing. Anyway, so I moved on Carolingia, burned that to the ground. Got a lot of money for burning that to the ground. Moved on to Brion, burned that to the ground. Naturally, the Skaven for me. And we've just burned this down a couple of turns ago, and I am now moving northwards to see what things I can plunder up here. Now, my own personal armies. So we'll take this point to quickly go over. That's Gorse. So he's my overlord, and is of course Khazrak. So while I remember it, I'll just quickly show you Khazrak's skill tree, which is the only one I haven't shown now. And I can tell you roughly why I went into these various things. Most of it's the same as the ones you've already seen. Of course, he's got a bit more. He's got all the melee attack bonuses, deadly onslaught, and I'll just quickly show you this tree. So that's all the same. That's all the same. That's all the same. Then his own new. He's got planned ambushes, superb hound training, best of the best, ever-changing beast paths. And it asks you the greatest foe. I haven't got this far yet, obviously. Voice of Dark Gods I've already got. Got the Hound. I haven't got that ability yet, which I'm getting close to. Rank 12. Devotion. And he has his own weapons as well. Ooh, I forgot to move something to them. I don't think I actually got that yet. No, I have to actually do something for that quest. And so that's basically where I'm up to on his skill tree. So I'll just give you a quick idea what it's like. Right, let's go back to the main campaign. So this is pretty much my original army with a couple of changes. I've added a few more units. I haven't actually expanded on my units that much really. I took a Brashim of Death, who's leveling up nicely. I might as well show you that quickly. I don't think it's that much difference. No, it isn't really. So I've obviously gone down quite magical. You've got the Purple Sun because it's the Purple Sun and it's devastating SFO. So that's coming on nicely, but nothing much has changed from normal vanilla. So as you can see, I've got some gold chevrons on my herds here, my Ungors, and some really good children with gold herd. These actually destroy things. As you can see from the stats, they really do destroy things. And there's that speed. So this gives you an idea of what it's like when you get them ranked up. Just as a comparison, what you're used to. And these actually cause tribal call. So speaking of, there's my tribal call. So I'm at 19 at the moment. So 24 from settlements plus 2 for technology. And I haven't unlocked that much in here yet. I think I've created one of them. I can't remember which one I created, but I got one of them there. Haven't done any of them yet. Haven't needed to do that because I'm not that far down the trees yet. I'll show you that in a minute. I've taken one of those bonds, and because I have got a ton of Dark Devotion, and I've got some Ascensions. I haven't used any Ascensions yet. Or did I use one? I might have used one weapon. Can't remember. So that's coming on nicely. Armies wise, so Khazrak I have basically leveled up, which you saw briefly. So Breast by Evil, on a nice cheap upkeep. Horde growth, so I'll show you my horde growth in a minute. I wanted a really fast army. I like a really fast army from the Beastman warbands. So that's and I've just started to boost him up his abilities wise, and he's getting quite beefy now, as you can see. And Surgeon Warhorde, so I just wanted nice cheap running costs. I'm not the best with the Beastman campaign anyway. I prefer to have a nice income and keep it really high, don't go into the negative. And that's very easy to do with the Beastman. To be fair, it's probably the best way to play it, is to keep raiding, keep charging way around and have a ton of cash in reserve, but an upkeep which is usually really low. But I've decided to go another way. And as you can see, I'm actually making a profit, and there's nobody raiding at the moment. And this is just at the end of the turn, so that's why. My other army decided to go a different route. I've decided to go in the more Ungor route. So this is going to be nice cheap Ungors and Centaurs. So this is going to be a nice charging army. And I think I've just expanded his herd tree, or building tree, to start recruiting the Chaos Warhounds and Weezigors. I'll check that in a minute, but I think that's pretty true. And they'll share the power, so I'm getting some extra abilities from that. And of course I've got Buddhist. So just again for cheap upkeep and just to keep a nice fast army. That's my thinking there. So building trees. So just to show you what I've done here. So I've gone for this for the cheaper Ungor units. Gone to Centaur, so I just started to do that. As you can see, I've got a lot of population surplus, and that's nearly going up one every turn now. Well, it is pretty much going up one every turn. And yeah, I thought so. I've just gone into the makeshift side, so I've got a Weezigor herd, so that's going to recruit some of them. And while we're here, I'll just show you what Weezigors look like in SFO. Very nice, and very, very, very violent. And look at this recharge bonus for these 137. These are from very angry pigs, let's be fair. I've just recruited Brat, and I need to make another one of them just so I can recruit one, because I've already got a break from a quest you do. So we're making progress on both these skill trees. That's Goros, and I'm pretty similar on this one, but he's got a ton of population surplus. So I really need to start making money now, so I can actually spend it in here, and then I can start creating a new warband. That's my plan. But yeah, I'm going more Ungor route here, so I'm going more Bestigors. I'm going to get Razangors, or I haven't decided yet. I might get Khorngors first, I might have some really heavy hitting units, because as you can see, he gets some nice cheap Gors. And so that's where we have that army. And just to round it all off, I've just remembered these have appeared recently. So these are part of the SFO. So these are particular missions. So if I wanted to go down the Khorne thing, I have to go to move any character to the foreign region, Serpent Jetty. So I either send my army or send a hero off. And the Serpent Jetty is over here. Then you got the Heart of Nurgle, which is over here. So miles away. Hearts of Zinesh, it's over there. And then finally the Heart of Zin, and Hearts of Zinesh is right in the top left hand corner. Just gives you a bit of something to focus on. And you get massive amount of experience for doing them. So let's just quickly nipped back to my army. But I think I've just about covered everything I want to cover. So that is my overview of the Beastman campaign. If there's any questions, feel free to put in the comments, and I'll see if hopefully I can answer some of them. And I recommend you go and try it out, because it is a significant improvement over the vanilla version of the Beastman. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.